try and get in the right position. Hello, everybody. No, it's not necessarily a Q&A, but you could ask me some questions. Just come on for general chat. Nice to talk to you guys. You're my subs. So I don't do a lot of this kind of just general interaction. Often we're doing Q's and A's, or I'm doing a review, or there's some kind of life things that I want to sort of discuss. So there's only two people here at the moment. So once I've got a few more viewers, I might go further in. But yeah, you can ask me a few things about the year in general. But yeah, essentially, this isn't really anything special. I just thought I want to do a live video, just talking to my subs, really. One of the big sort of things in my life recently is that I have been I've got my degree in film production, and I'm really actively pursuing that. Well, not actively pursuing film. I'm actively pursuing a career of some kind, and I mean, with the kind of state of the world and the way things are with the economy, it's tough out there. No matter what you do and strive for, it's tough. So it led me to think I need something secure, and I want to get out of my current situation. Being I'm 28, I still live with my parents, don't have the best finances. Although I am sort of taking on a new job soon, but I want to train to become a teacher, preferably teaching film, which is what I was taught at uni and college and stuff. So I thought that would be a good avenue to go down. I have a degree, which means that I am eligible for it, and I'm midway through a PGCE, which, for those of you that don't know, in England, the PGCE is a postgraduate certificate of education, and I want to get that to sort of qualify as a teacher, and then I should hopefully be able to apply for more teaching jobs, and then it's a steady kind of 9 to 5, working routine, Monday to Friday. I'll have a bit more of a salary to live on than a retail wage, which is what I'm currently on. So it's it's not going to be easy, but after I got my degree, I want to do something with it. I feel like this is the quickest way to feel like I've achieved something. That's not to say I won't ever make films. I'm making one at the moment. I can make films in my own time, and submit through festivals and all of that. I never wanted to work on a film set. It's just a little bit about me, really. Like, I never wanted to work on a film set because the hours are all consuming. You have to give like early morning to late evening. You have to give your whole life to it. You don't have a work-life balance. I have a big family. I have quite a lot of friends. I like to go to the movies. I like to do things in my own time. I like to have some downtime. I think that it's important to strike the work-life balance. So that's why I always thought, well, either I go into post-production or I go find a secure job and then do the creative stuff alongside. Because I'm currently a freelance videographer. That's what I do. I don't get a lot of money at the moment from it, but I've done it for the last year or so, and it's good. I've built some regular clients, and I've done a few video projects for people. I have a side job, which is where I work with some kids, and I've been filming their films. So yeah, I'm doing a little bits and pieces, but I need a steady job. I need a 9 to 5 job, and then I can have my weekends to do things I want and do things I like, and also do some other work and make my movies. And I just want to get into a different routine in life, and I'm at the stage in life now where I can do that. For years, the reason why I went to uni was because I was depressed. Essentially, a little bit about me. During the lockdown and previous to that, I really struggled with mental health, and I did other courses. I got a higher diploma in media and film, and I got a level 3 diploma as well. So since I left school, that's what I did. But then after the diploma, I took a few years out because I was trying to find work, and it just wasn't happening. And then I got really depressed and sort of gave up on it. And then COVID happens, and life just seemed to go from bad to worse. But it's one of those things that you just, you get so low, and then one day you just snap, and then you think, you know what? I have the power to change this. I'm going to force myself to go to uni. I'd always been reluctant to go because I never thought I was clever enough for uni. I never thought I was good enough. I have very bad self-esteem issues, as you can probably tell. Um, and the point of me doing this really is just to sort of say to anyone who's struggling at the moment, please don't feel like you have to. You know, you'll get to a point where you'll be like, no, I want to change this. You know, your mind will honestly just sort of reset itself. And I think that's honestly what happened with me back in 2021. I was in one of my retail jobs and I was just like, fuck this. I'm done. I'm done with this. I want to change my life. And it's a long process, of course. You know, nothing, you don't know what's going to happen. Um, and uni was hard, but I'm so grateful I did it. So now I have this option to pursue something other than just working in a shop, you know, which doesn't pay the bills. You know, it's just so bad, you know, and I'd be so poor for the rest of my life if I continued this in this torture. So that's not to say people who work in shops aren't good workers. Of course they are. It's not easy. It's not as easy as people think it is. It's easy to a point, but mentally it's not as easy as people think. And also money wise, it's just terrible. It's just so bad. But yeah, I because I know there's been one or two people that have asked me about studies in the future, and so yeah, my advice is go and do it. Honestly, do it. You won't regret it. It won't be easy. It will be hard, but you'll have much more choice if you do it than if you don't. Uh, in terms of PGCs, the way to get one, you know, someone's asked in the chat. The way to get one is to go online. Is to go online and apply through the government website. I'm in midway through the process, so I'm working on a personal statement. I'm due to be contacted by an advisor who's going to help me go through that route. So the reason why I'm saying this is because it may affect the future of this channel. I know last year or two I did sort of quit because life was tough. I had a few personal problems to deal with. I didn't have time for this. Not that I want to quit this again, but it might just mean that I may not have that much time to do this because teaching is such a it's a hard going job. You know, I'd be walking into a job that's full on. You know, I have to plan every single lesson, make sure I'm on top of things. So my free time might be a bit limited, but you know, it is what it is, as they say. So thank you very much, Dinobot. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the thing about teaching. You do have to be impartial, and that's something I will try to be. I'm one of those people that's quite patient, and I think this is kind of one of those things where the universe has sort of thrown me some signs, as it were. I had a previous lecturer from uni who left while I was still doing the course, and she said to me, "I'd make a very good teacher," which I never expected to hear that. That was the first kind of sign, and then every time we had reached the end of like submission week for a module, I would always finish first. Not because I was a SWAT or anything, just because I worked at a different pace to some of the others, and a lot of them would come to me asking for help, which I didn't feel like I knew everything, and I thought, okay, well, I'll try it, but I'm not really sure. And I had a meeting recently with one of my old lecturers on Zoom, and he gave me some really good advice about it. And he said, yeah, it's a good route to go down. So yeah, Royal Rue. You really you've not understood this, I'm afraid. I'm not giving up filmmaking. As I said at the beginning of this video, I just wouldn't do it full time. Like there isn't full time work in it. So the point is, I want a full time job, which would be the teaching, and then alongside that, I can do filmmaking. I can make my own films in my own time, alongside that. So just to be clear here, you need to listen to me when I say what I say before you ask your questions. You ever become a famous actor? Well, that's it's like asking, is the Pope Catholic? It's like, I can't answer that. I mean, if I did, it'd be kind of fun, but who knows? Who knows? It's like working with the actors who are talented. Well, I've worked with a lot of actors who are my friends, and I think they're all very talented. So yeah, yeah, I would love to work with David Tennant. I think that would be great. When will you be getting married? I can't answer that, dude. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know when that will happen or if that will happen. Do you need a degree to do teaching? Yeah, you don't need specifically a degree in teaching. You just need any degree. You need a bachelor's arts, a BA, which is what I've got. I've got a BA in film. Is my job full time? No, it's not. I can't drive. I'm not sure how that's relevant, but okay. Scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for your teaching job? Just to be clear, because you clearly haven't understood this whole thing. I haven't actually got a teaching job. I am pursuing to study to become a teacher. So there's no job. There's no job yet. My current job is retail. I'm in a shop, but I want to become a teacher to better myself. Please listen to what I say before you ask your questions. Will you teach in London? I don't know. I don't know, man. Please think about what you say before you ask these questions. It's getting a little bit irritating. Oh, don't worry. We will get our collab done. Can't promise I can do many collabs, but yeah, our collab is on its way. It's in the editing process at the moment. Watch this space. Yeah, I don't use Spotify, so I don't know too much about that. But yeah, I don't really know how to answer that about Spotify. It's, I guess not everything is on there, really. I'm not much of a music person, so I don't know if I'm going to be much help to you. Paleontology, that's amazing. Teaching about dinosaurs, that'd be incredible. And I can see where the influences come from. You would, yeah, you'd make a fantastic teacher in that. Put it this way: if I ever was in the position to reboot Primeval, I'd get you on board. You'd be one of the people I'd recruit to help with this, because your knowledge of the creatures is far beyond anything I know. I just go by what's in the show. So yeah, when can we collab with each other? At some point. I can't guarantee a time, but if you let me know your schedule, then I'll work around that. So that's all I can say. But we have to consider the time difference, because I'm in England and you're not. But yeah, so I guess I just wanted to sort of share that my pursuit of a teaching career means that it's full on. I have to give a lot of time to it. So this channel is always one of the things that I'm afraid has to come last. So not that I don't love it, I really do. It's but I need to think about my personal life. I need to get secure in my life. But this is great. This has been a great hobby for me to do, and I love talking about films on here. And also it's a security thing as well. Like, I have to consider as well, if I have students who are like teenagers, if I have students that are around that age, they're obviously going to go on social media, and if I have to keep this hidden, then that's something I need to just be cognizant of. I have thought about that. I thought, if I do reach, if I do become a teacher, I've got to just consider the age of my students, and if they're adults like me, it's not going to be so much of a problem. But I'll just need to keep myself a little bit guarded on here, or maybe potentially I may have to hide my channel. So there is a potential chance the channel could close, but I don't want it to do that. But I have to think about a lot of different things. But again, we're not at that stage yet. I'm just studying it. So yeah. Yes, it does take a long time. I've been in education a while. I've done a few courses. I never actually wanted to be a teacher when I was younger. I thought I wasn't clever enough to do it. You don't need to know everything, but you do definitely need to know enough about what you're teaching. And I think that, from my understanding, because I've got friends who are teachers, they say that you have to just study the curriculum. You have to know the curriculum. They send you what you need to cover and what you need to deliver. And I can kind of do that. I mean, I'm confident enough to, engage in public speaking, but making sure I know the knowledge is another thing. But yeah, I wanted to get sort of just a generic PGCE. You can get specialist ones, but I wanted to get a sort of bog standard one. So I've got options to, if I wanted to teach in a primary school, I could do that, or if I could, but ideally, I want to be a film teacher. I want to teach in a college or a uni, like teaching people how to make films. That would be that would be great to be a film lecturer. That would be what I would want, because it's also like the closest thing to the industry that I studied that I could do full time. I mean, again, it's not for everybody. I might do well and then decide, no, it's not for me. But I at least need to consider it because of the fact it would change my circumstances. And I think I probably would actually enjoy it, to be honest. And talking about the subject I studied is, passion fuels creativity and creativity fuels passion. It's a two-way street. No, I don't have a master's degree. No, I don't really want to do any more education. But you don't necessarily need a master's degree to be a teacher. Which, I mean, a master's is a great thing to do. If you want to do it, go and do it. But it's never something that caught my eye. It's never something I thought I needed. It's just something that might have added to my CV. But I feel like if I have enough to consider, for teaching, if I have enough to do a PGC and be considered for that, then that's fine. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. Yeah, exactly. I'm a great believer in everything does come to an end. Good, you can't have too much of a good thing, but at the same time, it's yeah, it would be nice to bring it back and just give it a bit more life before it died again. And I think finding a way to retcon some of the things from the end of season 5 would be ideal. But yeah, so there's not much else to say really. I've just come on to just talk about my future plans, and again, the channel might be affected, and I will of course let you know in due course about how I will manage this channel should I be successful. But the training would be at least a year, potentially 2 years, depending on if I do it full time or part time. And I will probably be working in a placement somewhere. And I really just believe this is a good direction for me. But my current job is part time, and the hours are flexible. So for now, I can still do the reviews and all that stuff. There might well be a time when this channel does sort of have to end, but it will be because it has to, not because I want to. I did end it before because I was desperately struggling with life and personal situation was overwhelming. But now I'm in a place where this can continue if I want it, and I can manage it mentally. I can keep up with it. But no, I think going to uni, it did me the world of good. So anyone who wants to go and do it, please go and do it, because your life will be better off for doing it. And like I said, I can still be a filmmaker and make films. I'm making one right now. Filmmaking is a long process anyway, so I can use weekends to go and film or evenings to go and film, and I can juggle my lesson planning. I'm quite good with time management. I'm actually quite organized with my film projects, so I think that in itself makes for good teaching material. And there does come a point when things do need to naturally end. I have gotten better at this channel since I started. When I started, I was really bad, and I wasn't as good at editing or anything like that. But I've now edited my videos a lot more concisely. I try to do constructive reviews if I can, and I don't make the videos too long anymore. Some of them are longer than others, but I generally try to at least keep it to sort of like a basis. So I don't think that this channel could probably get much better than it is. I wouldn't want to strive for that. I'm not someone who wants to make a living off YouTube. This is just for fun. Honestly, it's just for fun. You try and make a living off YouTube, you'd be clutching at straws. You have to be pretty successful to do that. And kudos to the people that do. But for me, I'm just happy to get myself on camera and just talk about what I love. So yeah, but thank you to all you guys. You're always such a great support. And this is not me leaving YouTube, just to clarify. It's just kind of a general chat / update about my plans. So there may be times when I am a bit quiet on here and I don't post a lot, but I'm going to try and post more reviews, like, and keep up the regular talk as much as possible anyway. So yeah, I'll always be here somehow. But yeah, I don't think there's much else to say. Oh, I just better. I'm in college for the next student credits. Oh, nice. So your job starts tomorrow. Oh, so are you working in the library at your uni, or are you working somewhere else? Supernova, yeah, I don't know, like, I'm not sure what it refers to really, but, yeah, it I guess it sounds a little cheesy, but I don't know. I mean, the last Godzilla Kong film, I think, was it Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire? It was fine, you know, those movies are fine, they're fine for the audience they're made for, um, but yes. Yeah, I'll watch them to talk about them, but I don't often have a lot to say because they are just sort of, you know, B movie action movies, monster movies. They're made just to see monsters hit the shit out of each other, and they do their job well. Yeah, but there we are. So I think I'll probably end here. But yeah, thank you very much for listening. And sorry, this wasn't really a Q&A. I just wanted to come on and sort of tell you guys what I was up to and what I'm doing in the future. I'll still, like, for now, I'm still going to be posting as much as possible. But when things start to really sort of take focus, I will let you know and keep you further updated. But at the moment, I'm just literally applying for the PGCE, and that does take a bit of time because I want to make sure it's all correct. I filled out the basic information like my name, details, work history, qualifications, and I've got enough qualifications to apply for this. So that's good. That's really good, and it feels good, to be fair. Um, but yeah, we'll see how it progresses. I don't think the training will be too much longer. But yeah, I'm excited for a new direction in life, and it's about time. It really is about time. You know, as I'm nearing the end of my 20s, I need to get the arse in gear, as it were. Uh, um, so yes, thank you all for watching, and until next time, I'm Pajax Perspective. See ya. Bye for now.